Dre wore like the shirt of his favorite beer or some dumb shit. I don't remember.
Oh no,
he wore the Jacksonville Jack.
The North Florida Bimmers. I had to listen. Actually, I'm gonna try to
do this, man.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to come back from that. All right, listen, S38 Fire Team, we're back after much delay, and we got to give the people what they want. Want to say much appreciation. We're starting small here. You know, like I kind of made the reference to Jeff Bezos, you know, starting in his garage in Seattle. We're starting small, but the love and appreciation and the views and the subscribes and everything that we've gotten over the last couple of weeks has been phenomenal. I think a big part of that was just us just sharing our life stories with cars and our opinions, whether good, bad, and different. So the love has been felt, and we're going to continue to give the people what they want. Right, Brooklyn?
Always. That's what we always try to do here at S38 Fire Team.
Adam, how are you feeling about your newfound success? I heard you went to the store and you had to sign a lot of engine covers and something else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's been terrific.
Oh, man. He's modest. That guy's a celebrity, I tell you. But so what are we doing today? It's the regular cast of characters, Brooklyn, Adam, and myself. One of the things that we like to do in our spare time, and by spare time, I mean time that we're supposed to be either working or spending with our family. We're surfing the web, surfing the interwebs for cool cars. And one of the biggest repositories of cool cars that are actually for sale, and even some of our crew's own cars have been alumni of the some would call it infamous. Some would call it a money laundering scheme. Some would call it one of the coolest car sites out there to see just a variety of cars. But Bring a Trailer, which is a favorite of mine. I really like Bring a Trailer because the minimum requirement for selling that car, I'm an old Craigslist guy, and you would see Craigslist ads, and it would be a screenshot of somebody's laptop of a car that the car looked and sounded really good in the ad, but or the guy's taking the picture with a potato phone. I don't know, but Bring a Trailer requires you to really have your picture game up, and it brings attention to detail, and it shows you the extreme ends of the spectrum when it comes to bargains or deals or, just really what we like to call well bought, well sold. If a car is well bought, right, that means that somebody got a car at a really, really good price and maybe they underpaid. If a car is well sold, that means somebody sold a car probably for way more than it was actually worth. So we want to dissect that, and we're going to share what we think are some good examples of well bought, well sold. Adam, what do you think about the highs and lows of Bring a Trailer?
As you mentioned, shopping is continuous. Sort of like chow was continuous when we were in the Marines. So shopping is continuous, and that is a terrific venue to just either study the market or see what's available. Like we were talking about last week, our first cars. I know that I shopped around a little bit to see, what I could find, and that was terrific. But also sort of not so terrific because they've kind of, skyrocketed in price, unfortunately.
Right.
But anyway, I think it's a great venue. There's definitely a little bit of a feel to it. I am personally of the opinion that sometimes it feels like money laundering. It's just my own personal thing. If we ever meet in person, you wild observers, then we could talk about that. But I think that Bring a Trailer really has a sort of a monopoly on enthusiasts, enthusiast cars. and there's a great comment section. I believe it's ran pretty well. There's a good, everybody understands the rules, and they encourage really high quality sales, high quality, high details in the ads. Great photography, always sells well. And it just gives everybody an opportunity to kind of talk about it and meet in one place, and hopefully there's a great sale.
Absolutely. Brooklyn, your thoughts on the highs and lows of Bring a Trailer?
I'm reminded of I'm going to make you guys name people who I can't remember names of every episode, but I'm reminded of the superstar bowler, the same pro bowler who said, "Who do you think you are? I am."
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
When he retired, after his last game, he said, whether you loved me or hated me, you tuned in, you watched, right? So I don't think Bring a Trailer is as controversial as, like a Hollywood person or a politician or, anything like that. However, the thing is, this is what I know. Our 7-man, 8-man crew, our automotive crew, I think all of us, and some of us have busy or dangerous or very time-consuming careers. I think we all visit Bring a Trailer every day, right? And that says everything you need to know. Bring a Trailer has your dream car, unless you are just completely not a car enthusiast. And I know and also work with people like that. They, they drive Camrys or Tacomas or F-250s or Nissan Altimas or whatever. They don't care. They care about their vehicle in so much as it gets them to work or it hauls what they want to haul, but they're not enthusiastic like we are, having a bunch of cars and still shopping for cars literally every day on places like Bring a Trailer. And one thing Bring a Trailer is, to me, is a wealth of knowledge, right? Like we all own a bunch of cars, and you can still find out something new about a car just like yours on Bring a Trailer. Like first of all, you're going to be like, I paid 10 grand for my car. Someone just sold a car identical to mine. Of course, it's going to have less miles. Identical to mine for $120,000. And you're like, huh. And while you're reading these articles, there's going to be someone in the comment section, and we're not above this kind of thing because we do this kind of thing to each other in the chat every day, right? Someone's going to be like, that car is BMW Alpine 2. Those only came in Alpine 3. You know what I'm saying? That's not a real M5 because it would be Alpine 3. Or they're going to say, well, I'll give you an example of something that happened to me. The day I bought my E39 M5, our friend Alan, he was like, well, it has these cool mirrors. They're like cool oval mirrors. He's like, well, these fold up. I didn't know they fold up. He pressed the button and the mirrors folded. I promise you I'd have had that car for a year before I ever accidentally hit the button or noticed that someone else had it. He also pointed out that my car had the extended leather package because there was leather everywhere instead of leather, just on certain parts of the door or whatever. So there are just all these intricacies. And if people make fun of Corvette guys and like, yeah, they're like, this is the Corvette guys and the Mustang guys. Well, this is one of only 78,000 that were made in, this orange color or this red color. And, but when you read Bring a Trailer, people really, really, really know the intricacies and details that I find, especially as we all get more into, because I guess we're all getting Porsches now. everyone in the crew gets more into Porsches. I read the Porsche stuff, which is always on fire on Bring a Trailer. Those folks really, really know and understand the details of their cars.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's like I said, it's a repository of just,
It's cool.
It brings all the enthusiasts into one area, right? If you were to see a car that's exactly like yours that's up for bid, and you look at the comment ticker and it says 83 comments, you're like, let me see what these, and you scroll all the way down, and they're like, I know that sticker that was from Bayshire, Morton working second shift 1986.
Right.
The back lot after the tea break. And
it makes you go check your car.
Yeah, it's like
oh, did you know that your 88 M5 came with a spot for a Kalashnikov rifle?
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And then you go and open your trunk and you're like, what do you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to kind of point out is that sometimes if somebody rolls past our house and they see a driveway full of old BMWs, they're gonna be like, okay, that guy's into BMWs. Right. And then you might, I know there's a house like this near you guys. There's a house where there's like 4 or 5 of the same car, but it's not what you would consider an enthusiast car. But you know what? There's a whole forum. There's a whole army of people, army of enthusiasts that are into the old Toyota Tercels or the Geo Metros. There's a whole enthusiast group around those people. And this is where they can meet, is at Bring a Trailer.
Yeah, that's why you pay $60,000 for a Prelude. Someone paid $60,000 for a 2001 Prelude, and I'm looking and I'm like, it makes sense because with over 300 million people in this country, and there are probably people bidding from other countries as well. You're looking at this thing and you're like, there's this one guy who in 2001, when he was 18, he wanted a Prelude, and by God, it might as well have been a Ferrari at that point because he could not afford it. But now, he's a tech bro and he wants it. He's got other cool stuff, but he wants it, and you can't have it. What you see a lot on Bring a Trailer are 2 people who've decided that they're taking this car home. And that's why a car that normally would sell for $30,000 can sell for $60,000, because both of these guys are like, we're going. I mean, because it starts out as 10 people, and then it's 8, and then it's 6. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. But that's the essence of an auction.
Absolutely. And you guys just threw out some numbers and some oddball cars. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to share what we think are the polar opposites of, the well bought, well sold. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. That I don't think I usually go first, but let me go ahead and drop mine. Let's see if I can get this right here. Let's see here. I'm going to show you the top. I feel like there was
that's what she said in there somewhere. But continue.
This is the biggest thing I've ever. No, I'm like, all right, let's see. All right. All right, here we go. Check this out. Okay. We have Yeah, we have. Let me get my screen going here.
You're still making GTRs, huh?
We have a 2023 Nissan GTR. Now, this is the Nismo, okay? This is the Nismo, but I think that everybody, when you talk about cars like Nissan GTR, there is a, it's in the same vein as a Toyota Supra, a Mazda RX-7, Mitsubishi Eclipse. It is very hard to find those in stock form, right? And I think the upper echelon here, they made a final year version of these that they made, I think, for 2024, and they called it the A spec. So I think if you go back to when they debuted, which was around 2009, it's the same. We've seen this from Nissan and many other manufacturers. It's the same. Toyota with the 4Runner, Nissan with the Frontier. Not that those are performance vehicles, but it's the same formula. Not the same formula. It's the same It's the same thing. Nothing has changed. It's a twin turbo V6 high output. The horsepower they've increased the horsepower. I believe when it debuted, it had around 470 horsepower. This GTR Nismo version has 600 horsepower, which is nothing to sneeze at. But there's no doubt that this car is still, even almost 15 years after its debut, one of the quickest and fastest cars that you can buy. But to counter that, you can also find a slightly used Nissan GTR for way less than half, for a third of this price almost. So it's mind-boggling that somebody would spend $250,000 on a Nissan GTR.
House money.
House money. We always make the joke. Thank you, Adam. We always make the joke about house money. That's what my dad used to say. And he was talking about $30,000 cars. Yeah, he'd be like, "That's house money," but this is literally house money. But you can find. I found one for sale that is less than. We have a 2023 Nissan GTR. Premium with floor mat package. They took that right out of.
That's the selling point right there. Floor mats.
Yeah, but 10,000 miles. It's same red. It's not the Nismo, right? But you have an engine that is easily tunable to that 600. Intake, downpipe, exhaust, tune, and you're at 600 horsepower. Because this is a 2023, so I'm not sure of the horsepower rating. But I can assure you that this thing
doesn't matter. It has the floor mat package, King.
That's what stopped me. I'm actually on my way to pick this up. Right? But you're talking 100, and when you're talking $250,000 versus $121,000, is that the same shopper? Maybe, maybe not. But me, I'm not. The fact that you can get a 2023 for over $100,000 less. I think this, the person that this 2023, even though it's brand new, it's got 88 miles, which is basically delivery miles and maybe a couple test drives. I think it's just, it's mind blowing that people would spend $250,000 on a design that is so old and is really on the backside of its. I mean, they did eventually kill it. That was my real shocker when I hopped on Bring a Trailer and I saw this for $258,000, and I want to say it was the most expensive GTR as well. Brooklyn has his hand up. Yes. What is your counter?
How old is this slight refresh? This car has clearly been around for at least 15 years, but this current look, how many years ago did this it's not a tech refresh, it's
like a LCI,
facelift. Life cycle.
The Nismo was offered alongside just a regular GTR, so it's really a separate model. It's like a Corvette Z06 or M model. So the Nismo had different aero package, had a different wing, different wheels, and then a host of technological upgrades as well to include more horsepower. And all of the Nismos were in that vein. So it's definitely a different. Visually, the styling cues are different. If I showed this to my 10-year-old niece and said, "Hey, this is a 2009 GTR, this is a 2023 Nissan GTR Nismo," she would think it was the same thing.
I'm looking on Bring a Trailer, and there's an 1,800-mile 2016 Nissan GTR Nismo, and it looks like this one. There are a couple. I think there's a difference toward the bottom of the sport. It's almost the same headlights. I thought the headlights changed at some point, and I'm sure they did, but earlier than 2016 apparently. It's actually pretty shocking to me how long they were able to ride
get mileage out of it.
Well, the NSX lasted a very long time. The E31 H series was available, at least in Germany, from 90 to 99. But this is, even for Nissan, who likes to, extend the remix, the Armada and QX, whatever it is now.
We're not talking about Titans again, okay? We're not bringing up Nissan Titans.
But, Nissan Motor Company has a way of extending the remix that Toyota, in a way that Toyota.
Nissan Motor Company is the equivalent of those family photos that have the great-great-grandma, the great-grandma, the grandma, the mom, the daughter, the daughter's daughter, all in one picture. And you're like, how's that possible? All right, so let me real quick, let me share with you what I think is well bought. And this is a 1995 Nissan Skyline GTR sold for, and I didn't do anything crazy like go back to pre-COVID, I don't know if we're going to get docs for that, but you know what I mean, pre-2020, 1995 Nissan Skyline GTR, $65,000, which I think is, and this one is bone stock, right? Bone stock. And for $65,000, you can have a bona fide Godzilla fire-breathing 90s Japanese supercar. Okay. All-wheel drive, Hikis, classic silver, the wing, it's just, I absolutely love this car. And I think $65,000, I would pay $165,000 for this car. I don't care that it still has a switch gear from a Nissan Altima. I don't care that it still has this cruise control buttons from a Nissan Altima. This car rocks. Okay, this car is fast. It's capable. It's one of the greatest sports cars ever made, if you ask me. It's a two-door sedan-ish coupe with a rear wiper. That alone gets this thing into the Hall of Fame. I love these cars.
Is this a 33?
Yeah, this is a R33. This is a R33.
R33.
Yeah, this is a R33, and it's beautiful. You look at the classic. This is something that, here's a design cue. This is from like the 60s, 70s, this turn signal right here. It's a real oddball round turn signal. You can't even joke and say, oh man, looks like you're in four-wheel drive mode. No, yes, it actually is four-wheel drive. So you need to lower that thing to get it the right stance, but this thing's great. I love it. 65,000 American dollars, and it gets you something that is it's just a piece of automotive history. I told you always hear me say that. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Adam, you're a former.
Let me stop you before you. I appreciate the smooth segue, but let me ruin the podcast by disrupting and questioning you, cross-examining you, if you will. By the way, that's the E30 M5 back here that we've discussed this at length in the chat this week. So tell me why you went well sold with an R35 GTR and well bought with an R33 GTR. Two different cars.
Well,
tell me why.
Here's the exact reason, is because if you have $250,000 and you want a Nissan GTR, where's the better value? Is it a Nismo 2023 Nismo GTR, or is it a R33 Skyline for $65,000? The person who bought that Nissan Skyline GTR, the R33, that was a bargain. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to go Doug tomorrow and
Was it a bargain in as far as R33 current R33 prices go?
It's a bargain, as in, if you remember how I started the conversation, finding a bone stock Mark IV Toyota Supra,
got it.
DSM Eagle, or DSM. Name all the cars that are, it'll have
specials.
Fast and Furious it up.
This is bone stock for $65,000, and I can't tell you what they retail for brand new, but again, you always talk about getting an E39 M5 from
EAG,
right? Because you want to get it as it was from the factory. This is that chance, and this one, it's been driven, obviously, right? It's been driven, but this is as stock as you're going to get. This is fresh from Japan, never sold in the United States of America, and it's an absolute banger for $65,000.
You probably won't park next to one at very many meets.
You won't. Yeah, I'm looking to bring a trailer right now, and all the other R33s do seem to be modified. So I get your point. Thank you. You may continue.
Adam, do you like my picks? Just say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The end. That's eye-watering. 250,000 to almost 260,000 for that R35 GTR Nismo is amazing. It's a beautiful car, and I think we can all agree that another key factor in Bring a Trailer auctions is the photography, and that is immediately recognizable in that R35 sale ad, right? I mean, I don't know how much that thing was stock, or from the dealership, probably maybe less than 150, right? It's a special edition for sure, but I think definitely less than 150. But to basically turn it around, have it get a photo shoot, and then make $100,000 on top of what you just paid, that's really terrific. The R33, gosh, I have such great memories of a four-door. We one of my workmates, he was a corporal. He had a GTS-T, a white one, R33. Beautiful car. I will never forget that car. It was a four-door Skyline. It wasn't a GTR, but it was so beautiful. What do you got there? Are you showing the sedan? Yep, there you go.
He's sharing his screen. You're going to have to talk because it only switches to whoever's talking.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
That's easy for me. But yeah, here we go. That's the what the Wolf is talking about here, the R33 sedan.
Yeah. So, fun fact to further that point, the R33 four-door is my true dream car because you guys know me. They didn't sell it in GTR fashion, but you can make one. Alltech, I think it's called Alltech. They did make one. It was an aftermarket tuner. And Nismo made one, but Nissan did not. Nismo made a four-door GTR, if my math is correct. I'm pretty sure my Gran Turismo days back then were pretty heavy, and I love Nissan Skylines. I was a Nissan guy back in the day, and I could not get enough Nissan Skyline. Just the way it sounded, the way that it just, and it could also beat a Supra, which not a lot of cars back then could say that, right? It could outrun a Supra when it was ready, So
the other thing is I think we can all agree that we've been watching the clock on those cars in particular, right? No car have we waited for 25 years?
Oh yeah,
like those Skylines. We waited for them to turn 25. The R34 is obviously the latest generation that has finally turned 25 and is making its way to the States.
Yeah,
they're just popping up everywhere. It is amazing and just a great time to be a car enthusiast who likes that Nissan.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm pretty much the winner, so we can end this now. Wait a second. Okay. Adam, talk to me. What do you got?
So I don't know. Where do I start? Bring a Trailer is a fun place to be. It's really great to kind of follow the cars that I enjoy. I have never bought a car off of Bring a Trailer. I've never bid. I've never commented, but it's great to look from the sidelines. And some of the cars that we've discussed on this podcast so far have been heavy hitters on that website. And so I thought of something that I would really enjoy, something that would be super fun for me. And I picked an E30 M3. So I found one. It is a little older. It is a little older auction. All right. This is from 2014. But you can see that it was, basically a shell for $4,600 in 2014. Wow. And, it's a little rough looking, but, it's all there. It looks like it's kind of all there, definitely a project car and, worthy of some love. So this is a car after my own heart. I mean, this is definitely the kind of shopping that I would do. I would be like, I can fix her. I can fix her.
I can save her.
Right.
Oh my God.
So this, I saw this car and I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is a perfect example of something that you're only going to find on Bring a Trailer. And I'm actually like really surprised that it sold for such a low price.
Even back then.
Right. Even back then. So obviously it doesn't have the important bits like the wing or, any of the drive line or the S14 engine. But, this is definitely like a cool project. This is a blank slate that you could do anything with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the VIN. That's the most important. You can get an S14 on eBay, but you can't get a shell on eBay for $5,000.
This thing has been worked.
Right.
Yeah, they were probably cutting it up. This is about as close to a rat rod E30 M3 as you're gonna get. Yeah. WBS, But
Yeah.
what's weird that I'm looking at, let me go back here. Did they swap freaking 4 lugs spindles on here?
Yeah. It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Yep.
Gee. Well, they probably parted it out and then had to put something back in there to make it a roller. So, okay. That's
right. So basically at this point you're buying, an empty shell. Wait, is that okay? It does have the fenders. You're buying an empty shell. Fenders. You're buying a VIN at this point, right?
Yeah, so it will be an M3 when you get done. It will continue to be an M3 when you get done with it, as opposed to a 325 IS that you put the fenders on.
Correct.
Yep. There will never be an M3, even if you put $200,000 into it. So okay. I like that. Me personally, I don't know if I'm an M snob or what, but I like that the M3 started life as an M3.
Right. So to that point, my second car is actually this car. So if you scroll towards the top of the ad,
you'll see the VIN number.
No, hold on. Go down just a little bit further.
Oh, usually you can click on the VIN to see if
there it is, right there. Sold for $57,500 in 2021.
Holy crap.
Really?
Wait, go back up. Yes.
Wait, slide down to the VIN number. Let's see.
Look, this is it right here.
The AT history, yeah. Okay. Huh.
Get out of town.
Is it the same guy that sold it?
I don't know if it was the same guy that sold it, but this is obviously the same car, and it's been brought back to life in spectacular fashion, I feel. Obviously, it's not a purist special, but
yes, the guy who bought it for $4,600.
Yep, there you go.
Sold it for $50,500.
You love to see it.
7 years. 7 years. So
I love it.
What did you buy for $4,600 that you sold for $57,000? And this is an amazing find, Adam. And I was wondering why you only sent me one link, but I should, this is what happens when I doubt.
Never doubt the wolf.
Listen,
you said the wolf? You should have said that.
That's all you had to say.
That's all you had to say.
Is that a Euro?
Yes, it is.
Is that an S38? No, it's an S50. It's Euro S50.
S50
oh,
B32
Euro S50.
Euro.
I somehow missed that. Oh,
Yep.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
And it's the good S50 B32. It's the 321 horsepower variant.
Yep. So
Oh.
I saw this car, I saw the history of it, and I was like, wow, if there's an example of well bought, well sold, I mean, you could just pick or choose.
Yeah, it's both ways.
It's both, right?
Yeah.
So I really felt like this was a special car. I knew you guys would enjoy it. I'm glad that I buried the lead with one car, and I got exactly the reaction that I wanted out of you guys.
You had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that, and I really like what they did with the car. I think it really, obviously, brings the best of the E30 M3 to light.
Not the lightweight door handles. Oh my God.
God, I love this show.
So, any other thoughts on the car?
I will say that this is capitalism at its finest. I'm just kidding.
They brought it back to life. That could have just been sitting in the garage for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a car that otherwise would have been my beer can right now. Otherwise that car would have been somebody. It would have been Snoop Dogg would have rolled it up and smoked it. I mean, it's just. That car had no other future. I was, flying, and I'm out of town, but I was flying out here. You try to find a movie that's long enough to watch on the plane, and the Avengers, the part where the timekeeper's like, there's 47 billion outcomes, and there's only one that we win. There was only one outcome in which this E30 M3 was coming back to life, and this is it. So that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Look at that. The thing has and
it turns into a track car, it looks like.
And this is the great thing about bringing a car back from the dead, if you will, is that you get to omit things like, hey, you can't find a real E30 M3 dash. I'll just go get an aftermarket AIM all-in-one and just throw it in there, right? And that's just part of the personality of the car now.
Because race car.
I can't find original, XXXX. I'm just gonna put this in here now, and that's just part of the car. So
yeah. I mean, because a race car can get gutted anyway. So even if they started with a perfectly whole E30 M3, you could have gotten there. I mean, it's got full cage, race seats,
carbon. Can't find original E30 M3 door panels. That's fine.
No problem. I mean, well, for the cost of carbon door panels, you could have found some E30 M3 from BMW. But they wanted to go full race car, and I respect it.
Yeah, and they went full race car. Speaking of full race cars, Brooklyn, what are your picks?
Let's start with
low or high?
Well, let's start with well bought.
Well bought.
So okay. Well bought is a Silverstone E39 M5. Okay, here we go. 21 years, family owns 2001 BMW M5. I chose this car. It's a great color. It's the Silverstone. It looks blue. They call it a silver.
After the racetrack, right?
Yes, it is a 2001. So it's not the 2000. Mine is a 2000. 2001 has some nice upgrades and is slightly less problematic. 28,500 recently, 8824 for a clean. The mileage is not crazy. No accidents reported. I think this remind me 114,000 miles, something like that. And it presents pretty well. M5s have been E39 M5s. The market seems to be softening, but right now you can get a lot of car for your money, and for what we call 3 cargo pockets, or even less than 3 cargo pockets, because a cargo pocket is to us is $10,000. So 3 cargo pockets, you get 28.5. You're getting a whole lot of M5 here, right? owned by the same family for 21 years. You're getting your 400 horsepower, super sedan. They just by coincidence, I drove my M5 for a little bit tonight, and it's always just on startup. It's just so vicious. So I think this is a great buy for someone without breaking the bank. It looks like, a couple little spots that a professional could take care of, but you're driving around your 400 horsepower BMW super sedan and you're really enjoying yourself at this price point. Throw $5,000-$10,000 at it and it's much more closer to perfect. But this is a nice way to get a pretty decent M5.
Right.
Contrast that with the one I found on the high end, well sold, and there's multiple reasons why it's well sold.
Well, before I pull it up, Adam, you want to dissect that, or you think that's a good look?
No, that's I think that's terrific actually, and I don't think it's out of line at all. It's got I think it's a very honest car.
Yeah.
It does have some corrosion and stuff like that, but I mean, it's definitely been used, but probably not abused. I would be interested to see the underneath. I would, of course, because Bring a Trailer really encourages very detailed ads. It would be very easy to just go through the photos and Dre zoom, if you will, every single photo, looking for imperfections or looking for something that's a showstopper for you. And I think the way this car is presented and in the decent price that it has, I think this is a very reasonable price. I think it's a great pick. And the color is, I believe, pretty uncommon. I don't know the numbers, one of how many of us are.
No, they're uncommon.
But it's a very pretty color and uncommon, and I think it's presented very well.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I mean, E39 M5 is, I mean, you can all the things that you guys talked about, but in terms of a 2000s benchmark, I feel like the pendulum always swings back towards E39 M5s when you want to get away from when you want to step into the modern horsepower race, right? Where these days you can get a Mazda 3 or Mazda 6. I don't even know if they make those anymore, but you know what I mean. My company car is a Nissan Altima. No, it's not an Altima. It's a Nissan Versa. No, not a Versa. Rogue. It's a Nissan Rogue. It's 3 cylinders, turbo with a CVT, which is the worst transmission ever made, and it's blindingly quick. So but the E39 M5 crosses that threshold into the horsepower wars, and you're getting out of everybody's way with 400 horsepower V8. So you can get that for less than a couple cargo pockets, 2-3 cargo pockets. I'd say, yeah, that's definitely a pretty good look right here. But conversely, Brooklyn, you didn't like this at bungalow money? So
here we have an Imola Red 2001 BMW M5 for $135,000 US, with the black and red interior that some people are going to love and some people are going to hate. Imola Red is one of my favorite exterior colors on an E39 M5. Even though mine is Alpine White, which is the rarest, I've always liked. I like those pictures by the seaside. I've always liked Imola Red, and I've always liked Le Mans Blue. That's beautiful right there. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
So this car, and we've seen some really good photography on Bring a Trailer lately, like that 2002. That one of the squad posted in our chat, but the 2002 TII. But this car, here's the thing about this. This is why this is well sold, but not well bought. The person who bought it tried to sell it a year later.
Oh, you guys came in here with the investigative research. Oh, I see.
And it stalled out. I think they bought it for 135. Let's not forget, plus bring a trailer buyer's premium, which
and shipping.
So it wasn't a $135,000 car. By the time it got to their driveway, it was, probably a $150,000 car or some such, right? So then they tried to. The problem was they bought it right at the height of the market. Then when they tried to sell it again in a year, I think they tried to sell it in November 2023. In fact, if you go down to the VIN and you click on it, it'll show you the other attempts. Or actually, it should just on the page there. Let's see.
Yeah, let me go back up.
Your scrolling fingers quick there.
Try.
There you go.
There you go. Right. No, I was wrong. 81,000 is where it got stuck at in November. You can click on that. And that's 44,000 swing right there under. So they couldn't even match.
It was bid to. It wasn't sold.
Well, right. Well, yes, but I mean, they couldn't even match in the bidding, because they could have had it. They could have said to themselves, "Oh, this car is worth 200,000 now, so I'm going to put a reserve of 195." They didn't obviously meet. Thankfully for them, they didn't go no reserve, because just imagine buying a car, in late 2022 and then in late 2023, them having to sell it at that with no reserve. But I mean, again, you'd be a fool to go no reserve on something that you had that much money into. But yeah, I think that was a bad deal. And can we go down to the bidding on this current one? Because I'm sure there was a bidding war, or it wouldn't have gotten up to one.
Comment: the Earth is healing.
What?
The guy said the Earth is healing. That's hilarious. I mean, it just shows you. Yeah, I'm sure if you go through all of these. Are you not seeing the comments? Am I not?
We're not seeing any comments now.
Oh, okay, hang on a second. Hang on. There we go. So this one guy right here says the Earth is healing. This is at the end of the auction. This is the last thing he said.
That's after. That's after it. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 days after.
Hard to expect a car bought at the top of the market to be sold at a profit a year later. Spot on.
But this kind of peanut gallery stuff is extremely. I find it disrespectful. I mean, this is like real money that we're talking about here. We're talking about trying to get a real car here, and that kind of peanut gallery stuff really turns me off.
You don't like that?
No. I mean, I've already been dunked on. You don't need to talk shit to me as well.
Adam's like, I already lost $60,000. Please do not.
Right.
Well, this, it's a gamble, right? And I'm sure if you were to go through all of these comments, you would either laugh. I mean, he's going to have to contact Mokadu and see if he wants to come up any. Alex,
no, don't even do that.
Your boy Alex Cardio. It's safe to assume that it will not sell anywhere near this bid for now. So, it's a brutal game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a brutal game, and it's in a gamble. And I think that, like you said, the thing about here's the thing. Okay, there's a fundamental difference between a car being sold for what it's worth and a car being sold as the result of two people who really want a particular car, right? Mm-hmm. And when you have two people who want a particular car, it is not going to be sold at
market value.
It's going to be sold well above that, provided that they, have the extension in their bank accounts to do so. So that's the ingenious money laundering scheme of Bring a Trailer that I appreciate.
And the other part of this, and to be totally fair, to be totally fair, if this car had sold for $30,000 or even $50,000 a year prior, this would be a great come up for the seller, or for the seller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it didn't. Sure. It didn't. It sold astronomically high, right. And then somebody had to get out of it. This isn't even the guy that bought it from that $135,000 auction.
Oh, it isn't the same. It isn't the same seller.
That's not what it said. You can check my math on that, but there you go.
Yeah. So Empower sold it to Dom 1015 for $135, and then Kristen. So Dom 1015. How much you think he sold it to Kristen for? Christine.
Not less than he bought it for. So,
and there's no telling. That's a short time frame. September to November.
Could have paid $150,000 for that car.
Yeah.
I hope Chris Constantine didn't convince his whole entire family to let him bet the farm on this E39 M5.
I'm glad you said that. Today I was on Bring a Trailer, and he won a bid for a Porsche, very expensive Porsche, like $100,000 car, and his screen name was "Ask Your Wife Before You Bid."
Yeah, I heard that before. Yeah.
Because countless auctions sales have not gone through because someone got too overzealous and and didn't check with the head financier at the house.
And again, this is playing into the male ego. During the lockout year, the human lockout year of 2020, people are at home. Their credit got cleaned up. They're bored. Everybody's working from home, and they're on Bring a Trailer, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, click. Oh yeah, click. Oh yeah, click." And you have these exuberant prices of cars. I'm not paying $100,000 for E39 M5 unless it came with 2 more E39 M5s in the glove box. I'm not. Unless that car came with a mail-in rebate for $120,000, I'm not spending that much money. You can buy, I guarantee you, that $130,000 E39 M5, or how much of it was, you get the same experience from a $20,000 E39 M5, and I can send you 5 of those before the sun goes down. So, but great example. I do like that, Brooklyn, that you was able to wrap it around with the failed sale in the end. That's pretty good. Well, listen, this has been a blast as usual. Adam killed it with the E30 M3. You fooled me with only one listing, but you brought it back home. Brooklyn kept it BMW as well. The E39 M5, extreme ends of the spectrum. I satisfied JDM content for the month with the Nissan Skyline GTRs. I am Dre Zoom. That is Brooklyn Taylor. You guys got to speak when I say this is Brooklyn Taylor, because
this is Brooklyn.
And Wolf, Slick Top City.
Hello, everyone. Bye.
You're saying goodbye. What are you talking about, man?
Hello, goodbye.
All right. We'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. S38 Fire Team out.